All right, so we're official. We are our property tour today. It is Saturday, September 17th. We do have Bill Predabon on today that we're going to actually feature. So let's bring Bill out if we could. I'll stop sharing. There's Bill. Welcome on, Bill.
What's up?
Well, we had to get the thing kind of in line there, so we are ready to roll with you, Bill. So I was introducing you, Bill, and I think the most of you and your beautiful wife Sherry, and I'm so thankful you could come out this morning and share your deal and tell us about yourself. And so today, Bill, we'd love to talk about. We've got people on that are guests, people that are checking out. Someone's thought enough of them and invited them out to check out this community and kind of see what we're doing and how we collaborate and how we learn together and so forth. So a lot of people don't know who Bill Predabon is. So could you tell us a little bit about kind of where you were before you become a part of the community, how you got started in real estate investing? What was the trigger? What was the thing that said, man, I need to do real estate investing? Okay. And then why did you decide to be a part of our community? Why did you connect with us? And so take it from there, Bill.
Right on. That's a lot. What do we got? We got like 3 hours, right, folks? I'm just kidding. We'll get to football and being outdoors here in a second. No, thank you, Scott and Yaz and Umair for hosting this event, for obviously asking me to share some information and be a part of this. And share this particular property. It's going to be super fun. And then allow me to speak. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's an honor, and everybody on the call here on the Zoom. It's just awesome to have you here. This is 100% about you. I always have a selfish, conceited agenda, but more importantly, is what you guys want to hear and what you want to know. So you are welcome to just interrupt me and ask questions, whatever it is. I'll share a little bit of my background, as Scott mentioned, and then we'll jump right into the property. I'm going to share my screen with some pictures of before, and then some pictures, and then I'll walk us through the house, and then we can talk some numbers if you want. It's super cool. And then we can go in any direction you want. But I'm just privileged to be here. Yaz and Umair have just really put together an incredible team, an incredible opportunity out there on the East Coast. They're very good friends of mine. And you guys are in such good hands. I mean, they are absolute leaders with Scott across the country. They are business owners and real estate investors and successful, as you all know. But most importantly, you guys, they are the epitome, if you will, of helping other people do the same thing and just see everything and open in the book for you to see. So, I got to tell you, I'm not a guru, nothing like that. I don't get paid to be here. I'm doing this on a Saturday just because I love to share and give back, and give back is kind of corny, but I love to be able to share with people what I've been the opportunity I was given, and so I can give the same opportunity. So, I got to tell you, Scott, you asked, why real estate? What was that trigger, if you will? I was a small business owner before this. I owned 4 Play It Again sports stores in Southern California. I had a small pro skiing career in my 20s in Colorado, in Vail, Colorado. I saw someone was from Denver. So I spent 10 years in Vail, and then got into the sports business, retail business, and I made some mistakes, you guys. I'll tell you, this particular property is gonna highlight this comment. And you've heard this before, so it's not like I'm some genius, but you don't know what you don't know. And I really didn't know much about business. I understood sports. I understood talking to people and sales a little bit. And I just figured that would make it work. And I made some business mistakes. The market did change a little bit in the early 2000s when I had Play It Again, and I made a few large decisions to buy out my partners and move a store and stuff. But ultimately, my mistakes is what I ended up losing my business, right? So I found myself at 38 years old, I was broke. I was bankrupt. I was literally bankrupt. I filed personal bankruptcy. If I knew then what I know now about personal bankruptcy, I would have waited and not filed unless it was forced upon me. But my attorney suggested it, and instead of knowing and researching it and learning some of the information, I just took his advice, and I got through it. Took me 10 years. If you think you can get rid of a bankruptcy in 2 years, I never could. I tried it. But yeah, I had no retirement, you guys. I had no car. I made 17,000 bucks in 2007. So what's that transition was that I was going to, I started talking to people in my stores that seem to have time freedom, and they had kids and they had nice cars and they seemed to have the life that I kind of aspired to have again. And I'd ask them, and a lot of them, most of them were in real estate. And like, yeah, you should try out real estate. You should get into real estate. You should become a loan officer. You should get into, being an agent, whatever it was. So I started reading a couple books. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Anybody read that book? Right? It's so good. I can't even read. And I read that book in 2 days and I loved it. I fell in love. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get into real estate, and I'll make it short. But my first endeavor with real estate put my at the time girlfriend and I $400,000 upside down in 2 houses when the market turned. And that's not anybody's fault but my own, right? Ignorance again. And you guys, I was negatively cash flowing one of her properties to try to, reach the Rich Dad Poor Dad goal of having a rental and all this stuff. It was just a disaster. I literally, trying to learn it on my own, put myself in such a bad position. Our bills, we bought this house, 100% financing with her credit, no money down. I was a realtor, so I got a kickback, as part of the commission from the house. And it was a closeout in the height of the market. Just absolutely the wrong way to do real estate. And so I got to tell you, Scott, when I saw what you guys are seeing today, like I saw a guy like me, a girl like Yaz, that's doing the work and doing it right. And they're sitting here going, hey, like, I'm going to share with you today, this is how you can do this. This is some of the things you can learn. This is some of the groups and the people you can surround yourself with. And I saw this at a meeting and I was like, so if I do that, I can get this. And that was 2007, end of 2007, 2008. And I was already 400 grand upside down in 2 houses I didn't even own. They were in my girlfriend's, which now is my wife's name. We had $10,000 a month in bills, and I made $17,000 in 2007. So you can imagine the picture. I had no retirement, no job, no credit, bankrupt, right? No income, no house of my own. I had nothing. And I saw this information. And it just seemed to me that the people that are invited you here, the people that like we associate with, me and Yaz and Umair, when we go do stuff, me and Scott, when we're out at different destinations across the, really South America together, meeting up, we are having conversations about making things happen and helping other people. And how this has gotten us. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, if I do this, I can do that. And that's what this particular property will kind of highlight if you fast forward 13 years. So I've been doing this now since 2008. I've probably done about 225 or 30 deals in the last, about maybe 10 to 15 deals a year. I've slowed down quite a bit on the number of deals I do. I do a lot more portfolio investing, short-term rental investing, and I've been building some spec homes as of late, and building a 79-unit apartment building. So I've kind of slowed down the flip, just changed some strategies around. But so that's a little bit like, when I got started, I'll tell you the key. If I had some of the information that we're going to share with you guys, I would probably still have my business. But I'm blessed. I'm grateful for the changes that happened. Losing my business made me find real estate, maybe find this community, and got me here. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or thoughts or comments and you want to shout it out, this is about you. What I'd like to do is so if you got questions about me and how I overcame that, I'll tell you. There was a time when I never thought that I shouldn't do real estate, even though I did make a lot of mistakes in my beginning, just because there's just so much opportunity. It's like real estate is that one investment tool that kind of evens the playing field for the rest of us across the country and across the world. Is that, you don't have to be a star athlete. You don't have to be an IT genius. You don't have to win the lotto. You don't have to be a CEO of a major corporation. Those are not on the cards for the majority of us. We're not actors and athletes. We're not lottery winners, and we're definitely not CEOs of major Fortune 500 companies. We're just ordinary people just trying to get ahead and put our knowledge and our relationship capital to work, so that our capital can go to work for us when we're not working, and we don't have to just die 65 and broke, right? And so no one wants that. So anyway, that's what we're here for. And so like I said, I've kind of got an agenda, but if you guys got tangents and directions you want to go, let's do it. What I want to share. So I bought this property. I'm gonna tell you a little background. So I'm in Houghton, Michigan. I'm up on Portage Lake off of Lake Superior. So Lake Superior is the largest saltwater, freshwater lake in the world, as you know, except for the one and there's a couple comparisons. They have more volume in Russia, but anyway, Lake Superior is so big, it has its own tide, right? For a lake. And so I grew up here. I grew up here with my wife, but she went to the rival high school. If you look across behind me, you can't really see it, but there's a lake right there. And then there's an island on the other side. She grew up in Hancock. I went to Houghton. And she probably dumped me like, I don't know, 5 times. And then I stalked her for like, before cell phones and internet, I stalked her all over the country for like 10 years. But we were separated 16 years and we got back together in 2006 and we ended up getting married in 2007 because I trapped her by making her get into real estate. I'm totally kidding, you guys. That's another class, right? If you want to land your girlfriend, your wife, go get into a real estate deal with her and force her to join you. I'm totally kidding. But so we got together and over the last like 5 years, 6 years, we've been looking to have a place up here. We have a lot of friends in common up here. My parents are still up here. My dad just retired this year after 47 years at the university. And we love it. And we live in Phoenix, Arizona. And I don't know if you guys know Phoenix, but it's in the desert and it's hotter than bejesus in the desert in the summer. And it is like every Phoenician's dream is to get out of the Phoenix in the summer. And so we were like, what better place than this? So we started looking and this place, my wife was on the phone with her best friend who lives right down the road this is called Canal Road. And she was like, hey, I think there's going to be a house for sale down the road. Sherry's like, come storming in my office. She's like, you got to call this agent. They're about to list it. And I'm going to tell you where we're going to go with this, but you guys, I didn't put in one offer. I didn't put in a low offer. I put in 4 offers. Okay. And the way that I did it was I offered all kinds of strategic, creative ways to buy the house. Ultimately, the lowest offer came in with cash. So the 4 heirs to this property had a choice, and people love choices, right? We all love to have choices. So they looked at them, they weighed them back and forth, and they countered me on the cash offer. And so although, and this is, you guys, 200 linear feet of lakefront. I'll show you the front of the house or the back of the house, which would be the lakeside in a minute, but 200 feet of lakefront, and it's over an acre, this lot. And I was able to get it at almost a 10% discount on and you remember the market last year and this year. I mean, it just insane, right? COVID hits and the market everywhere, let alone lakefront property. So, so I was able to, through what we learn here and stuff like that, in this group, because of what I've learned, I was able to put in 4 different offers to give them a choice. And we were able to get this house before. There were people that came here and they're like, yeah, before it was listed, I was under contract. So although it was like a retail market, it was still on. Now, we knew that we would want to put it on, this is going to be a short-term rental, part-time, and I'll share that with you. So I'll share with you guys, just so you get a background where we are. I'm going to share with you now the pictures. So we're going to go.
Hey, Bill, could you real quick, give everybody online just an idea. When you say 4 offers, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Can you explain, your low one was your cash offer. What was your high one? What the 4 strategic offers, because you obviously have done this before, but there's other folks. So could you kind of talk about that real quick? Just
right.
Examples.
So that's awesome, Scott. Yeah, no problem, you guys. So when I wasn't prepared to buy this house, what I mean by that is it's not like when we think about traditionally buying a house, folks, even a second home, if you will, or a vacation home, whatever it is, or even your primary residence, you set aside your credit, you set aside your money, you set aside your reserves, and you prepare. You get a loan officer and you qualify, and you go out and you try to find a house and you try to compete. And so you're going to learn, many of you already know this, you're already in real estate, you're doing things already, I get it. But so when this opportunity came, I always say yes and figure out a way to say no later, right? And if I don't have to say no, then I get what I want, right? So the deal came and I wasn't prepared to buy it. They were asking $550,000 and I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't have any dimes set aside for it. wasn't ready for it, but I made the offer. The first offer I put is the highest offer. I went right out of the bat, but I'm thinking to myself, listen, if I'm going to pay them over list price, they better give me something in return. I'm not desperate for a house. I can't be emotionally involved, even though this was an emotional home for us. This is less than 5 minutes from my parents' house. I mean, this is ideal. I grew up knowing exactly where this location is. And so my offer was 560, 100% owner financing for a year, 0 down payment, no qualifying. You just get me, you give me the house. I will pay 560 over asking price. I will, and I did offer, I think I might've said, if you have a small down payment you want, then that's negotiable. And then I was like, hey, for 1 year, you just carry me. So if you have a loan, you can keep it in place. So that was my next offer. So then I said, okay, I'm going to go 550, or I might've done like 546, which is a little bit lower than asking price. If I put a down payment down, a larger down payment, but they let me carry the loan that they already had, like their parents passed away and were leaving the 4 children in the house, and there was still a loan to be paid off in the parents' name. So I'm like, let me pay the loan, let me have the house, and then in 1 year, I'll pay off the loan with a refinance. And then I said, okay, let's do this. My third offer, you got to remember now, my third offer was, I'm going to go out and get traditional financing. I want a 30-day inspection. I want a 60-day close. I'm going to go get traditional financing, but I'm only going to offer you 5.25. Like, I'm not going to pay full price. I'm going to go get financing. I'm going to have to put 10% down. It's going to take me time to get my ducks in a row and all those things. And then finally I went in at $499, and I said, I'll go in at $499 all cash. And for me, all cash means, some sort of instant closing where I can get hard money, private money, my money, whatever I need to do, but it'll accumulate to essentially an instant cash where I can waive appraisals, I can waive inspections if I need to, and things like that. Now, I still wanted an inspection. And so they molded over, the powers that be got together. The 4 children decided that they wanted the cash offer. They counted me, and I think we ended up at 510. Yep. So I had a $50,000 discount in a market that was, most people were paying 50 grand over, if that makes sense. You wouldn't think that, and it's not, it could be luck. It could be, the fact that it was
No, I don't think it was luck, Bill. I think it's the way you approach the deal, and the fact that you gave them options where they could look at you as a buyer, like, hey, this buyer's willing to give us some options here. How important is it? Because every seller is different. How important is cash? To some sellers, they got to have cash.
Yeah.
Others, they're like, hey, I can carry the note. If it benefits me, I make more money on the deal, I'll carry the note. So that's just real. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. What's cool is when you think about it, a lot of investors look at a house and they tear it down. They're like, oh, you need to fix this. You need to fix that. This is why I'm offering this. It's not worth it. This, this location, this house is better. Blah. There's all these reasons. So it's offensive in a way to a seller. If you look at my offer, their agent would present it to them and be like, wow, you got an above asking price offer. This is a really good offer. Now, if you want, you could go to cash and just discount it a little bit, but then they don't have an appraisal, and you don't have to worry about, whether or not it's going to appraise, or whether or not they back out and all those. So then, it's like, oh, this one may not say as much. So in their head, they're already saying yes to the full over asking price, but then they go down. So it doesn't feel like they gave anything up. It feels like they won.
Right.
Yeah. Versus, oh, the only thing I can say is, yeah, you're asking 550. It's probably worth it to the right person, but because it needs all this fix up and all this outdatedness, I'm just going to offer you 500. Right. Then it's like, you're disappointed as a seller. And I didn't do that.
That's awesome, Bill. That's awesome.
Yes,
Thanks for explaining that.
The original asking price was 550, I believe. And I did send all offers in a letter of intent, with not letterhead from my company, any of that. It was personally right to the agent that was going to be listing the house on behalf of the estate. And I said, present this to your offers, please, or to your sellers. Here's my 4 offers. And I put it in a typed email. And that's what it was. So that's how I presented. I did not wait and I gave them a whole laundry list of choices and options. And of course, inside there, you guys, was also, the inspections were longer. the one that I wanted was either 100% financing or a low all cash offer. I wanted one of those two. I didn't want the two in the middle. So I made them both appealing. Like the all cash offer at the bottom was like 5-day inspection. I'll pay your half your closing costs, because the closing costs here, there's a big transfer fee in Michigan and all this other crap. So we were trying to incentivize them to like pick that one or pick the 100% financing over the other two. So I juiced those ones up, and I kind of left the other two just like mediocre offers. So I wanted one of those two, depending on
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing, Bill, because I think that meant a lot to people. So I know you want to talk about this property, maybe show some before pictures, and you're going to take a few minutes, walk around. So why don't you go ahead and roll with that?
Yeah, cool.
And then for everybody that's on today, if you're really getting into this, if you're taking away some information here and you can see that, hey, this is something I want to learn more about, this community that Bill's a part of, that I'm a part of. Right after today, we have an actual intro to our community, really talking about our community and about the education and how we collaborate and we work with each other and we go on trips with each other and all that. And it's in a different link, guys. So whoever invited you, get back with them. It starts at 5 after the hour sharp, and they'll get you that link and you can attend. Sorry about that, Bill. I just wanted to plug that in.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of guests on today. I see a lot of new names.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, we got 65 people. This is awesome.
Yeah. So go ahead, Bill.
Let me share this. So I'm going to show you some pictures, but I'm going to tell you, this, imagine if you're watching this, I'm going to walk you through the before pictures from the listing, or from the old pictures from the house. And then I'm going to, because they're better on the listing than what I have. And then I'm going to walk us through the rehab. But I can tell you, so this house is in our head is one we're going to get out and use. And then we're going to have it be short-term rental. Mostly, I'm not going to put this whole thing on Facebook, on Airbnb, like I do my other short-term rentals. I'm going to have it on there as a platform, but it's not going to be live all the time unless I want to rent it. The reason being is we're going to treat this like, when you see, we're going to treat it like one of our, a little bit more emotionally attached was, because we're going to come here and stay a lot. And so if you're thinking about it, your own primary residence, a dream house that where you like to travel, this is possible. Like I said, yes. And I could have always backed out. I can always sell the house if I needed to, right? If you buy it under market value or you force appreciation, like I did with fixing it up. So there's options. So where I can always say no later, but it gives me this opportunity to get here. And so when I look at these pictures, I'll show you, so I'm going to share, boom. Okay, so there's the front of the house. And what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll on my phone, I'm going to walk us through and we'll walk right through that front door. Now, this is in the fall of 2019, I think, when they took these pictures, because I bought this house in, what's today, 2020. I bought this house in, maybe this is fall of 2020. I bought this house in 2021, right in the, a year ago. No, wait, I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta remember. I bought it in May of 2021. Yes, sorry. Okay.
So, I love the driveway, Bill. That is a cool driveway.
Yeah, it's pretty cool driveway. Yep. So now I'm going to, I don't know why that's blurry. So that's the downstairs underneath the garage. That's an unfinished room, 400 square feet. Now I will tell you, I'm going to make that room into, it's not insulated right now, but it is awesome. It's 420 square feet. I'm going to make it into a lock-off Airbnb for even in the summer when we're here. So that is going to be cool. I'm going to put a bedroom in there and insulate it, and a bathroom. It's right next to the utility room, which has a utility sink. So I can tie right into the plumbing, add a bathroom, add a full kitchen. And it's got its own French door out to the basement. out to the side of the house, and they can go right down the lake. It's awesome. This was his workbench. This has a sauna. If anybody knows, you're in the UP, anywhere in Michigan in the Midwest, the UP is critical for a lake. The sauna is critical for a lake house. So we have this is the changing room in the sauna, and then the actual sauna itself. This is look, you guys. So this is 1982. This house was beautiful, but he never changed a single thing. So there's your finishes from 1982 when it was built. He actually had nice trim on it for the old house. It was good stuff. So that's one of the bathrooms there. There's your beautiful carpet. So everything was super clean, super smelled good, all those kind of things. It just never got changed. but he had, I mean, these windows were changing. His roof was new, his windows, his furnace, all of the major systems of the house were just phenomenal. And they were all updated. These windows are dual pane, hardwood. I mean, just so nice. This is a bar area. You'll see the downstairs entertainment spot that we're going to have for guests. It's going to be incredible. But there's the bar area. We did leave that intact. A lot of wood paneling, a little too much wood for me. The ceilings we're going to change out. I'm going to show you that. And there's, yep, this is all your basement area. Whoops, what did I just do? It's because I can't, let's see if I go to this. Oh, it's just not, I got to go this way. Sorry, guys. Because it's not letting me go the other way. Because the pictures are in the way. Okay, so there's the fireplace, as I said, downstairs. So there's a sliding glass door and a window. And there's the entire basement, if you will, or it's not really a basement, it's just the first floor. But you come in on the second floor. He had epoxy garage, 2-car garage with a lot of extra space, a ton of storage. There's a laundry room, just dated as heck, some really nice wallpapering, right? And then these are the bedrooms up front. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs and 1 bath. That's the bathroom there. And like I said, we'll go walk through the remodel part. They had granite throughout. There was nothing bad. This is the master bedroom that we're using. Then this is the kitchen. This is like an eat-in kitchen, if you will. And then there's your little kitchen. You can see the granite. It's just old. They had nice appliances. I gave my parents the refrigerator. It's a really big fridge. I gave them that fridge. So they love it. You can see it has a big wall with 2 entrances. It's kind of all closed off. In the house, there's the kitchen. This is a big bay window that overlooks the lake. And this is the living room when you walk in. And you can see that there's the front door, this old banister. It's kind of blocked off. The kitchen's over here on your right to the screen. Just kind of closed and small and not that appealing. A lot of nice, really nice wallpaper there. It actually was nice, but it was a little dated. And then we've got a beautiful dock and a 200-year-old willow tree. And there's a lot of overgrowth. They hadn't lived there in over 2 years and didn't really take care of it. And then there's the rest of this is all my lot here, all the way to that pine tree over there and back behind where the photo's being taken. And this old crepity deck was a tiny deck. And I'll wait till you see what I've done there. Yeah, there's the house from top to bottom. There's that bay window in the living room, a nice tiered garden area, which we fixed up, and it had a shed on it. Big lot, over an acre, almost an acre and a quarter. All right, Scott, perfect. So I'm going to see if there's any questions. And then I'm going to jump on my phone and we're going to walk. I'm going to stop my share. So you guys kind of saw where's the property located. Houghton, Michigan, Upper Michigan, UP of Michigan, above, like almost to Canada is where we are. So off of Lake Superior, there's a man-made canal that goes through from one end of Superior to the other end through the Keweenaw Peninsula, which is across the lake from me. And the Keweenaw Peninsula is like Copper Harbor. Then there's Isle Royale in Canada. And so this is where the ships go from New York all the way through the Great Lakes, through the Sioux Locks, around Lake Superior, and they get back over to Duluth, Minnesota, when they're transporting iron, salt, and all the goods. So they in the 1900s, when this was the copper country, they cut that canal and dredged it so that the ships didn't have to go all the way around the peninsula. And when the weather was really bad, the wreck of the Edmonds Fitzgerald, that's in Lake Superior, pretty large boat. So it took a lot of boats down. There's over over 85 or something boat deaths, or not just death, but boat sinkages, shipwrecks in Lake Superior of major ore ships and stuff. So 1 acre, I can believe. Yep. All right. So cool. The square footage. So the square footage is, so this is a 2-story, 2-bedroom, 3-bath, kitchen, living room, sauna, and then a utility room, and then that 2-car garage upstairs, downstairs, and a separate full living area downstairs as well. As you saw, it is 2,600 square feet livable, 2,600 square feet. Let's see, is there anything else? It was built in 1982, never updated until now, on about an acre, just shy of acre and a quarter, 200 linear feet of lake frontage. Yeah, gas or electric. So it is what's crazy, this guy's electric bill is $400 a year because he has it double insulated, believe it or not. In the winter, we get 300 inches of snow up here. We've had a record 500 inches, I think. And sometimes, we don't get less than 200 inches. And so it is both gas. We have a gas stove upstairs and electric. And then I'm on septic. I can tap into the city sewer, but I do have city water. But I have the septic here. I just kept the septic for now. Yep. So the heat is gas. All right. So what I'm going to do is mute.
You're already on mute, Bill. And Bill's switching over to his phone right now so he can take us through the properties.
Okay, there I am. Hey, hi, me. Said I'm on here twice. Can you hear me okay, Scott?
Yes, we can.
All right, beautiful. So what I'm going to do is you guys, if you highlight, so you can highlight the speaker. I think I'm off. Yeah. So I'm highlighted on my phone. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this phone around and I will walk out the back and we'll come in through the front door and we'll see the property. How's that sound?
Very cool. You're coming through loud and clear and we can see you really good.
Right on. So you don't want to see me. I know this. So I'm going to talk as I'm going to go out this sliding glass door. Now I'm going out the bottom side right now, you guys. Oh, it's so nice out today. Oh, I
haven't heard your dog bark yet.
I know. My wife must have them like doing really good things. Let's see. How do I reverse this stupid thing? There it is. All right. So can you see that okay?
Yes, we can.
It's gorgeous out today, you guys. It's like 70 degrees. Sun's coming out. And I'll start we'll come back down here and end down here. But there's the what used to be the largest lift bridge in all of North America right there. It's kind of hard to see, but so yeah. So we'll walk up the stairs here, side of the house, and I'll kind of share with you what things look like. And doing a little gardening. There's my RV. That's another part of this whole adventure, you guys, learning what we've learned. I rented this out to a friend for $1. So I get to write off all the expenses because I made $1. He took it for a week for Labor Day. This is what we drive from Phoenix to Arizona in. It's our little C-Class, 30 feet, sleeps 4. We bought that in the pandemic and rented a few times, and then we used it ourselves, and our dogs and cats come in there. And that's, oh, there's my dog. She's at the door. Okay, so this is the front. As you can see, if you remember that picture from before, I didn't do much. The roof was new, the siding's new. I'm gonna eventually paint the exterior of the house. Just haven't done that yet. A lot of trees, pretty cool. You guys, it's just gorgeous here. It's been a little bit chilly of a summer, but so remember, my vision was, you guys, is the point to this is I acquired this with cash and hard money, private money. And the idea is you can start thinking about where you want to live part-time or where you want to have a vacation rental. If you were going to go vacation somewhere, what would you do? And this is possible. Like, this is not just some credit deal and having the extra money. So if you remember, this is walking in, there's no more banisters. There's the stairs. There's no more wallpaper. And you guys that look at this, so, oh, I didn't open it up, but I put in a 14-foot sliding glass door. This is a panoramic door. These all pivot 180 degrees. So this whole thing, oops, come on. And this door is not having fun with me right now, but the whole panel will open up entirely. And so if you remember that old crickety deck, we have built an 850 square foot deck out here to maximize the views. So you can see there's my buddy Steve's boat. I've got my deck boat down there and a couple jet skis. off the dock. And there's the view to that bridge, as you see. And there's my dog, one of them. That's Evie. So there's the deck. We've got dining out here, a grill, and everything. Obviously, everybody would do that. And yeah, so we built an 850 square foot deck off here to start with, and then we opened up the kitchen and the living room on the upstairs, so you can see that wall's no longer in between there, and it's a much more open concept, which is typical, as you guys know. Put in an 8-foot island, and remodel the whole kitchen. There's our gas cooktop. My wife picked out these are pretty cool sconces. I like them, or pendants rather. And then we redid all the floors. This is like an LVT, a luxury vinyl tile, but it's a porcelain top, so it's a little bit sturdier. And then we've remodeled this bathroom. And then that little fan is a music Bluetooth fan. And then mostly in the bedrooms and stuff, we just did paint, texture, flooring, and baseboards and trim. And of course, fixtures. So we put in some rooms didn't even have ceiling fans. So right now we're in the process of leaving in about a week or so. So we're getting everything done up, all new headboards and everything's coming in from, it's been a Costco / Amazon fest because everything's coming in for the Airbnb or for the short-term rental, getting in new little appliances. We got a new, the more stuff you put in here, the people love it. New toaster oven, pretty fun. Okay, so then we took out these walls, as you guys can see. Those little banister walls and everything. We are going to put in a new railing system. We just didn't do that yet this year. And then there's your entrance. So it's pretty nice. And when those doors are open over there, you guys, it's just unbelievable. And then we have a bug screen on that as well. So if it did get buggy in the summer, you could have the whole view with a transparent bug screen to block it off. So yeah, we'll go back downstairs where I was earlier and come down the stairs again, just mostly flooring. And we left the fireplace. We are gonna, this winter on the fireplace, you guys, we've got some copper. We're gonna incorporate, we're gonna put in tile and put pieces of copper into the fireplace. And then put in a poker table. There's the bar. We just kind of redid it, a couple new fixtures, and we kept all the old copper glassware they had as well. And there's my, so this is kind of fun. My wife got that online for the bar area. So we got a poker table. I've got an electronic and a steel tip dartboard in the area. We've got cornhole. We have bocce ball. We have jet skis. We have a deck boat. We've got a shuffleboard table for the guests. You can see the tiles. This is my project this weekend. I've got to put up the new tiles go in the ceiling. So these all come out. We've got brand new kind of modern ceiling tiles for that with copper in them. And then the TV goes right there. There's a 75-inch TV for the entertainment. And then another bedroom. And then this lastly, we haven't done this, but we have everything upstairs to finish the remodel on this bathroom. Next year, we're actually going to blow it out and actually have a full master. But we just ran out of time and trying to get contractors, not been an easy task. So we did what is necessary. And then there's the sauna room that pretty much stayed the same, except we'll be remodeling the tile floor. The tile guy will be in this week. But yeah, that's all the same. We just refinished it a little bit and kept it the same. And that, my friends, is about it. And I haven't done anything with that workbench area. One of the things that appealed to me to this house was the gentleman worked for a power company up here, UPCO, and he knew what he was doing. And this place, all the major systems that I worry about when buying houses are just perfect. There's a brand new furnace and AC unit outside, and then this is the. This will be storage this year with all of our furniture from the deck and everything. But this is that downstairs room. I'm going to put a bay window over there, and I'm going to build out a bedroom right there, insulate it, like I said, drywall it, fur it out and drywall it. Front door right here. And then from this section, he's got his work. That will tie right into the plumbing right down there. And this will be the kitchen and the bathroom in the corner. And it'll be a full 1-bedroom walk-off that we can rent out. for probably, well, we'll go to the numbers here in a minute, but that will be an additional income that will really help out, or really turn it into even more of an income property than it already is. All right, Scott, I'm going to come back. I'm going to see if there's any questions. Who will manage? All right, we've got stuff. All right, so I'm going to switch back over. So let's go out of there. Oops. Video off.
All right. Excuse me. How we looking? Good? Can you hear me okay?
We sure can, Bill. Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you. Everything looks good. We got about 15 minutes.
Yep.
So this is wonderful. What a great guided tour for us. You can really see what you've done to the property since you purchased it. Just super exciting. I mean, it's very, very livable. It's very desirable. I mean, you've given so many features for, you know, potential renters for short-term rental. You know, from all the lake exposure and the jet skis and all the things inside the house. You're doing a great job. I love it.
So yeah, thank you, Scott. So this is so cool. All right, so you guys, I'm so excited. So I'm gonna go through this. So this is perfect, and we don't have to like do a guessing game necessarily. We don't really have the time. I'm gonna go through and answer your questions. So, you guys, I paid $510,000 for this house. My wife and I. We used a hard money lender out of Michigan who went out of his way because of my relationship with him. Because if you go to Michigan, anybody who lived, I think there was 2 people on here that are from Michigan. It's 5 points for almost every hard money lender. I was like, heck no. So I was able to get a hard money loan for 350 grand. My buddy who owns a hard money company in Phoenix. Now here's where the relationship capital comes in, right? So if, for example, you didn't know this and you only lived in Michigan and you're on your own, you might only look for hard money lenders in Michigan. But we have people across the country that, and you've witnessed that with Yazin, Umair, and Scott, and so in myself. So you guys, my hard money lender in Arizona came up with a lender who could lend in Michigan to get me this deal at 1 point. Instead of 5 points means 5% of the loan. So if I get a $350,000 loan, Michigan, it would be 5 times that amount. So 3,500 times 5, it would cost me almost 20,000 just for the loan. You guys, so I paid, and then I borrowed $120,000 of private money from actually a family member because they know the area, and that's who I borrowed the money. So I used their, and you can use this, you guys. I asked them, what would you want to invest in this and put some money to work? And they're like, well, I've got this tied up, whatever. And I said, well, what about a line of credit on your house? And they actually used a home equity line of credit, which only cost them for the first year, you guys, with their credit, it was a teaser rate of 1%. So they've made over 10% interest if they want it on their money, because they're on the equity in their house. It wasn't even their own money. They weren't even using it. It was just sitting there, right? So they actually tapped into their equity and gave me a private money loan. And then someone asked, you know, where did you get the money for the fix up? So I'll tell you, because of this house, and it's so cool, you guys, is that my wife and I, through the course of real estate. Now, I can promise you, if you're not starting at $400,000 upside down in 2 properties, and you're not starting dead broke, no job, no income, no retirement, no nothing, then you can do what I've been able to do with this community. And in my opinion, results are not typical, but you can do it in half the time. Because I had to build, it took me 5-6 years before I even bought my first rental after that fiasco in 2007. So my point is that we have multiple other rental properties, and we have lines of credit to the tune of over $500,000, almost $750,000 in lines of credit from two of the rentals that we have, let alone the other ones. And we used that to simultaneously be building a spec home in Phoenix and this home here and renovating it. So we technically used our own money, but it was equity lines from our rental properties. It's just so cool, the creative strategies you can use. So I'm not coming out of pocket necessarily. Now, my wife and I did throw in stuff, like she'll buy stuff on Amazon and then we'll pay it off with our own money, because, you know, the more money we have into it, we're not worried about it, because this is a house that we're going to be a part of, right? We may sell it down the road, but whatever the case is, this is something we're not worried about pulling all of our money out of it or having to pay it all back, if that makes sense. But I've got the hard money loan, the private money loan, and the equity money. Those things are all going to be paid back on the refinance, right? So it's so cool. So the rental cost, you guys, was about 100 and what did I say? I bought it for 510. The rental costs were about 150 to 170,000. Yeah, about $150,000 in rental costs for all of and that includes some furniture, and it included all the labor and all of the materials. I haven't done the complete math yet. We're in the middle of the refinance right now. But if you've ever heard of buying the property, fixing it up, and then refinancing it to pull the money out of it and put everything back, that's essentially what we're doing. So I'll pay off the hard money lender, we'll pay off the private money lender, we'll pay off our lines of credit, and we'll probably keep some of the money in, depending on what the appraisal is and how low we want to keep the mortgage payment. Because interest rates, as you guys know, have gone up a lot higher. So the less I pull out, the lower the payment will be. It did take all winter. We weren't here. We came up here one time in the winter for about almost 8 days. We went snowmobiling. We hung out, and then we got some remodeling lined up with some of the contractors. They're super busy. Obviously in the summer, they do all the outside work. In the winter, they do all the inside work. So we'll do a little bit more this winter, a little bit depending on the bookings, or we'll just wait till next summer again. Do I rent my jet ski? So I believe, so my insurance is set up to do so with the liability and everything. I'm still debating that with my wife, what we're going to do. There is a rental place that rents their jet skis for it's $250 for half a day. It's not cheap. So it's definitely a revenue maker. So there's one that's a brand new 300 horsepower, 75, goes 73 miles an hour. I'm not going to rent that. I have a smaller Trix jet ski that's super fun and it's lightweight, and I'll probably look to rent that one out. And then depending on the snowmobiles we buy, I'm still debating that. So that's another stream of income, but I'm not positive I want to take on the liability, given I'm green to it. I don't know anything about it. I don't have a class on it. I have to learn a little bit about renting out those types of machines to guess. Now, if Yaz Numeric came out and said, hey, can we use your jet ski? I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? There wouldn't even be, I just let them use it. So if it's friends and family and they're renting from me, but if it's people I don't know, there becomes a higher liability. You guys, I'll probably weigh that option. We do rent the bikes. I've got paddle boards, 4 kayaks, 2 paddle boards. We don't have a canoe. The little street bikes, the little beach cruisers and stuff with little cup holders on it and a stereo, little box, little music thing on it. So those will come with it as well. And I don't think I'll leave them as amenities for people to use. Excuse me. So in doing the cost analysis so rental cost is about 150. The house is worth around, in my opinion, the house is worth around, and the opinion of both my agent and a BPO, and we'll know here shortly because I'm getting the appraisal done, and my insurance agent. So we went and did the insurance on the whole building, and his cost approach to replace it, given the fact that we have 200 linear feet of waterfront, you guys, it's so valuable in today's market, anywhere in the Midwest and, Missouri, everywhere, New York, it's going for around $200 a linear foot. So the land itself is roughly worth $400 to $450 just for the land. And when I bought it, it was probably worth around $150, but it's just gone up, as you guys all know. So I anticipate the value coming in between $700,000 and $800,000, most likely around $750 to $800. And therefore I can take out a non-recourse, it's in my company's name, business loan to 75% of the value of the loan if I want to. So I can, and this is no credit, you guys, this is if they check my credit for the interest rate, but it's not a credit-based loan. It's a business-based loan. So this is not I don't even have my 2020 taxes returns done. So I don't recommend that, folks. Do your taxes, but I don't have mine done yet. And if 2021's due, so I'm in the middle of that. So I got to stop coming up here for 3 months, I guess, and do my taxes. But you guys, so this loan will not go on my credit. It won't show up as a loan on my credit. And it is a credit-based loan, but only based on interest rate. I mean, you have to have a certain amount of credit to get it refied. You can't get these loans without having at least a 680 score. But if you do, that's really low because you'll get a higher interest rate. But with our credit scores, because I've been able to learn how to build my credit up over the last 10 years. Remember, when I started real estate in 08, you guys, my credit was less than 500. Swear to God. Not proud of that. Just as a fact. And, but it's not the end of the world. I bought almost all of my houses. Very few of my houses have I ever used my own personal credit. And in this case, I'm really not either. I'm not even using tax returns or bank statements. I'm literally using the amount of rent that will cover this. Someone asked, how much am I going to rent it for? I believe on a low end, it'll rent for $400 a night, most likely. Like if I'm looking at, there's a house at the end, there's only like 8 houses right in this stretch. The one at the end goes for almost $18,000 a month. The one 3 doors down is a little bit bigger. Those 2 are a little bit bigger. They sleep more people. We're only going to sleep 6 to 8. We're not going to allow a lot of people here. We can easily sleep 10, but we're only going to allow 8 people. So I got to double check comments. So, and time. Okay. So, so yeah, I believe I will average $500 a night. Okay. And I'm going to say if there's 360 nights a year, right? Times, 0.5. So even if I only rent it 50% of the time, because this is a year round, you guys, there's a snowmobile trail that they groom. It's right here. And in the summer, all summer long, across that street that I went out on when we first started, that leads out to Lake Superior. And it goes to over 500 miles of snowmobile and 4x4 trails for side-by-sides and snowmobiles in the winter. And they groom it, a lot of it. And then it goes out into the open world too. And then I've got the lake right here, and the lake freezes over and you can snowmobile on the lake. So it's year round. We have a ski hill. I can probably hit a driver 4 times and hit the ski hill over there where I grew up skiing. I was a pro skier. I grew up on that 420 square feet or 420 vertical feet of mountain over there, but it's steep and deep. And especially with 300 inches a year. So you guys, there's all these amenities. So it's year round rental here. And Michigan Tech University, it's one of the great top 25 engineering schools in the country, is right here. And the students are here now. It's just the population goes from around 8,000 to 20,000 with people that come into town for the school year. So 180 times 500 is 90,000 a year. If I only rent it 50% of the time. Now it might be a little bit more, but if I'm up here 2 to 2.5 months in the summer, which are the best months of the year, other than some months in the winter where there's like winter carnival, they have a snowmobile, they have a dog sled race up here, 100-mile dog sled race. They have all kinds of events in the winter up here as well. It's like winter wonderland and summer water joy. There's so much tourism. So it's really cool. It's where we want to be. Like if you ever wanted to go to the Midwest, you guys like think about it. Or if you ever, and you don't want to live, I don't want to live here ever again, but you know what I mean? Like I get to come here. I've spent more time with you folks. Listen to this. This is what Real Estate Renatus and what Yaz, Umair, and Scott are trying to share with you. I promise you this. You guys, this opportunity with this community and the meeting you're going to see right after this meeting, I've spent more time with my dad, who's 79, and my mom is 76. I've spent more time with my parents in the last 2 years than I've spent in the last 20 years. They are a part. My dad is here every day helping me build the stuff to get it ready for he's so excited. And somebody asked who's going to rent it. So I vetted 4 different cleaners, and the one that came the other day, she was incredible. And she used to manage Airbnbs while she cleaned in South Carolina. She grew up here. I know her parents. So the coolest thing is she's going to take over management and cleaning for me. She doesn't clean on the weekend. So I'm going to either have a second cleaner as a backup if I need it, or I'll just rent it. I just won't rent on Sunday. If they check out Saturday, she'll clean Monday morning. So the cool thing is, and then my dad is here and my buddies are here. One of my buddies, his contracting company built from high school. One of my best friends built this deck. So I've got these connections, right? And they're going to take, my dad will come over anytime. He's got keys to the house. He knows the garage code. I don't even know the garage code. And he just takes care, he checks on things. My mom waters the flowers. You guys, when it comes to friends and family, there's nothing better. And real estate has that ability to level the playing field where we with the right surrounding of people and the right knowledge, I swear to you, we can live not a billionaire's life,
but we can live that lifestyle possibly, right? It's not typical, but we can have that opportunity to be able to spend time with who we want to, when we want to, because we can creatively buy real estate when most people would think that I've got to work 10 years to buy that property. I've got to save money to buy this. I've got to do it this way because that's all we know. This is the epitome of you don't know what you don't know. And if you didn't know how to buy this house and figure it out, what worst case scenario, the market crashes, whatever, I sell it, I just rent it full time. I could easily, I told you that there's a house that's about 2 more bedrooms down the road that rents for $18,000 a month. So I could probably rent this house on long term at $8,000 a month if I wanted to. My payment is not $8,000 a month. My payment will be I'm gonna get let's see, 700 is the low end, let's just say, times 0.7. If I take out 500,000, let's say, and I have an interest rate of 6.5% because they're high, divided by 12, my payment's going to be roughly taxes and insurance on the high end, 3,000 a month, maybe 3,500 if I take out more money, even $4,000 a month, right? So if there's 30 days in a month times 0.5, that's 15 times 500, that's 7,500 a month, 15 days a month. So even if I only rent it for 10, I cover my nut every month on this house, right? And I can start paying myself back for all the furniture and stuff. There's so much opportunity in different strategies, you guys, and we help you with that. I'm just trying to look at the chats because we got to wrap up.
Yeah, we do have to wrap up, Bill, but obviously I love how you're looking at this from a conservative side as well at 50% occupancy. Knowing that area, I do know it a little bit up there. You're budgeting at a low end. It could really easily be 60 or 65 or 70%.
Oh, you guys, all my other Airbnbs are running at almost over 75 to 80%. So I am basing it because I don't want to make it. I want to be able to. I don't want to put myself in a bad position necessarily. I've done that before. Absolutely. How would you like to wrap up here? We are at the deadline. Yeah, we're at the deadline, guys.
If you could, share just maybe a word of advice or a recommendation for someone who's on today, who's thinking about getting started with our community, what would you tell them?
Well, honestly, other than what I just said about the opportunity here, I say yes. And then I figure out a way to say no if I need to, right? Because when I say yes, I can go home and I have an opportunity. The minute I say no to something right away, like, no to whatever, then even if I go back and think about going, yes, the opportunity may, number one, be gone. And then I'm going to have negative feelings about saying yes, like, you know what I mean? But when my first reaction is yes to anything in life, then I'm like, and then I can start to slow down and plan and be like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And I can talk to some people and then I can back away from my yes. So whatever opportunity you're presented with, say yes, go open and see what's possible because there's so much we don't know. And that's what Renata, and I should say, surrounding myself with you and of course, Yaz and Umair, you guys, and the people that are inviting you, that's the energy and the vibe that we have in this community is that anything's possible. And you guys right now, if there's anything I could say is like, just, if this is appealing to you at all, anywhere in the world, in the continental United States, you want to have a place that you can't afford, we can show you how that's not true, how you can afford any property you want based on the knowledge that you have and the relationship capital that Yaz and Umair and Scott and we are offering you.
Bill, that is awesome. Well, guys, we are wrapping up. We're a couple minutes over right now. Bill, I want to thank you so much for sharing with your time, sharing your deal, just sharing your knowledge and your passion. Obviously, you have so much passion and excitement about this business. And, the sky's the limit. It truly is. And guys, again, if you enjoyed what you heard today, get right back to who invited you. They'll get you on a link. You guys can plug in here right in a few minutes and listen to more about our community, how you can get started, how you can get connected. And Bill's waving goodbye. Guys,
I'm
have
just
a great
saying,
week.
Everybody's thanking me, and I'm just thanking everybody else. It's so
That's
good.
awesome. That's awesome. And we'll be right back next Saturday with another investor from our community coming from another state we're actually going to share a flip next week, a fix and flip. And so we'll be doing that. And you guys have a great weekend. Again, thank you, Bill. Give my love to your wife, Sherry. And I appreciate your being a part of this community. So guys, have a great weekend and we'll see you next week. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.